it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy, where I am running crazy. This is kind of typical. If you know me, I'm always running at the last minute, and today was no exception. I really should have set an alarm, but I didn't while I was working ahead of time. So it's going to kind of be an adventure tonight. We're going on a card adventure. It's going to be so much fun. I say that as a joke, but I'm serious. It is going to be much fun. I have an idea. I know exactly what we're going to do, but I haven't like put the card together yet. So it is going to be a fun adventure. All right. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm seeing your comments come through. I had another start to a video and it wasn't working well, but this one looks good. So, hey everybody, I'm Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Maybe I said that. I forgot. I live in Champaign, Illinois. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 19 years. And I'm so excited it's Thursday. We've been doing Thursday Night Stamp Therapy Facebook Lives here on Facebook since January of 2020, even before the pandemic started. And it has grown and it has been so much fun. So I'm so glad that you're here with me this week. Each week I share a couple projects. Today I've got like a fun set of simple projects and then one card adventure. That's what I'm calling it. It's definitely more of an involved card and you get to see a lot of the process. So I hope you guys are ready to have some fun. I was starting to say before the last video got cut off, I participated in a demonstrator challenge that Stampin' Up! Had. It's called the No Jar Challenge. And the reward for participating in the challenge was that I was able to participate in a special craft night for other demonstrators who also participated in the challenge. And one of the projects that was shared during the craft night was by Sarah Douglas, who is the CEO of Stampin' Up! She is Shelly Gardner's daughter. Shelly, of course, is the co-founder of Stampin' Up! And so Sarah shared this project and I love it so much. She used some other designer paper, but I'm going to show you the same card that she did. Now, Sarah always talks about a 4-step card. Now, you may see she does weekly Facebook Lives on Tuesday afternoons. So I share a lot of them here on Facebook, so you may have seen them. But she has a formula that she likes to use. She calls it the 4-step card. So this is really great if you're feeling like a creative mojo block, like if you're just sitting down and you feel like you don't know what to do. This kind of little simple recipe is a great way to think about crafting and making cards. So here's Sarah's 4-step card. She starts with a card base, adds designer paper, adds a sentiment, and then embellishments. It's really very simple. So today's card is the one that Sarah shared recently during that craft night. And I have my components. I have my card bases. I'm using Evening Evergreen. I have my sentiment. I'm using the Christmas to Remember stamp sets. And I have, what's next? Oh, the designer paper. I'm using the Painted Christmas designer paper. And let me see. I think I forgot to pull out samples. This is a beautiful hand-painted paper by Stampin' Up! Artists with just these beautiful like Christmas seasonal pines and not florals, but like leaf imagery. Just beautiful foliage is the word I was looking for. It's called Painted Christmas. So I started with a piece that is 3 inches by 12 inches. So you're going to be able to get 4 of these from a 12 by 12 piece of designer paper. So I started with a 3 by 12 piece and poof, just like that, magic of TV, I cut it into 1-inch strips. So these are 1 by 3 inch strips. And for each card, I'm going to use 4 of the strips. And so that is part 2. We have our card base and then our designer paper. And then we're going to add the sentiment. So I really loved this simple design. And so let's start by adding that designer paper. So I'm going to make 3 cards because that is what 1 strip of the 3 by 12 inch designer paper will create. I think I have 4 card bases here. So let's start. This one's going to be a horizontal card. And I love that Sarah like purposely made them not straight. So she kind of had them be a little crooked good. Maybe like a little up, a little down. And looks like we need to space that out a little better. There we go. So these are really quick and easy. Like Sarah's a busy person. I am a busy person. Sarah's got 5 kids, I think. I have 4. And so life is busy. And that is actually the true story of what happened today. Life is busy. I was busy running my kids around, picking them up from school. It was kind of crazy. And so oh, that's kind of the story of my life. So this is a perfect card for a busy stamper. Okay, I got my designer paper. Now I'm going to do my sentiments. So friends like you make this season special. I'm going to stamp it and then punch it, but you could do it the other way around if you want. This is the Label Me Lovely punch, one of my favorites. And I just love the shape. I love that it's not just a perfect circle. So see how easy this card is? Like we're almost done. 4-step card base, designer paper, sentiment, and embellishment. Let's add that sentiment with some Stampin' Dimensionals. These are actually right here. This is no joke. Stampin' Dimensionals are my favorite adhesive. I probably use Stampin' Dimensionals more than any other adhesive. I also use the Stampin' Seal a lot, but I like the Stampin' Dimensionals because they're really quick to add some great dimension. Okay, there's our sentiment. The last step is embellishments. So I chose the red rhinestone jewels because of the red in this designer paper. And whenever we add embellishments like this, we always talk about doing it in odd numbers. It's just more pleasing to the eye. So I'm going to add 5. I'm going to do 3 at the top and then 2 down here at the bottom. So they kind of sprinkle along the page. I use my fingers, and you saw that. Sometimes I'm really fast, but another great tool to use to get the rhinestones off is the take your pick tool. I actually prefer to use the spatula ends and kind of get underneath them. Or you can use, if you have scissors, you can use that to lift your gem off and place it. I think I probably use the scissors, honestly, more than I use the take your pick tool. Okay. That was card 1, but we can have more cards because we've got these card strips. So let me just show you some other ways to do the designer paper. First of all, we can make this a vertical card using the same layout. So let's just glue down 4 more pieces. Isn't this like so quick and easy? If you send a lot of Christmas cards, this might be a design that you would like to make because it is super fast and super, super easy. And even though the cards would be mostly the same, the people that you send them to are going to have no idea what card everybody else got. So I often, when I'm sending handmade Christmas cards, I often send the same card to more than one person. There's nothing wrong with that. How do you do Christmas cards? Do you make a different card for every person? Or do you make them all the same? Or maybe make several designs and you choose which design that you send to people? I'm going to go ahead and do my next card sentiment ahead of time as well. Whenever I'm doing multiples like this, I always find that, doing things in groups, like doing all the designer paper first and then doing all the sentiments, is just more efficient and helps me to finish cards quickly. Okay, so this one was horizontal. I'm going to make this one vertical. So it's exactly the same card. I'm just changing the direction of the card. Let's go, I think I like right there in the center. And we'll add our rhinestones. This time I think I'm going to do 2 at the top and 1, 2, 3 at the bottom. Oh my gosh, so easy, you guys. One more card. Let's put our dimensionals on and get the dimensionals set aside. This one, I'm going to use the 4 pieces again. These are 1 by 3 inches. And I'm going to do them. We're going to do a vertical card, but we're going to change the orientation of the designer paper. And I'm showing you 3 ways, but honestly, like you could do this multiple ways, right? You can make them like however you want. You can move your strips, but these are some of the ideas that I did it again. Sarah shared during craft night. So here she's got them going across this way. Oh, I love that. And you guys are going to have to vote and tell me which one of these you like best. When we're all done, I'm going to, if you know me, I'm always tearing apart my card. I'm just going to slide this over more. I just want this spacing to be a little closer to what it is on this side. That's good enough. Okay. So we've got horizontal, vertical, and then like a vertical, horizontal. I'm going to call them 1, 2, and 3 over here. So go ahead and leave a comment and tell me which of these layouts you like best. Would you make one of these at home, or is this card maybe too simple? I know some of you are really detailed stampers, and so a card like this maybe is too simple for you. That's quite all right. We've got all kinds of styles and all kinds of ways to make cards. I don't want to change the order, but I'm just going to shift these here. So this is 1, 2, and 3. The next card, if these are too simple for you, then make sure you hang out because our next project is a card adventure. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, I am seeing a lot of you say number 1. Judy says, I do most of mine with the number 1 orientation. When I think of this card layout, I think I gravitate more towards number 1 as well. Janice says 2, Sharon likes 1, Terry says 1, Tony says 1 is her favorite, but they're all nice. Kay says 1, Janet likes 3, Barbara says 1, Susan says the first one, the horizontal one, Deanna agrees. Yes, Tony, quick and easy cards are so awesome. So let me show you that little post-it note again with the 4 steps. So whether you're using this layout for your designer paper or another layout, a 4-step card is a nice way to break into card making, whether you're a brand new stamper, whether you're a busy stamper, or whether you're just having a creative block. Next time, try a 4-step card. Start with your card base, add designer paper, and then the sentiments, and then finish with some embellishments. Now, one thing I do want to finish off these cards with is an inside. We've got a very dark card base, and so I want to do something on the inside. So this one's horizontal, and these 2 are vertical, and I'm going to, you really could dress up and stamp the inside or add some designer paper. I'm going to just be simple since these cards are simple, and I'm just going to add an inside sentiment that says Season's Greetings. And this is from the same stamp set, the Christmas to Remember. Lots of room to write a note. Christmas is such a great time to reach out to friends that you haven't heard from in a while. Give them a little update about what's going on in your life, how you found a brand new card making hobby that you're just enjoying so much. Or tell them that you're celebrating 20 years of card making. How long have you guys been making cards? I know that many of you have been crafting even longer than I have. And I've been a demonstrator for 19 years and making cards just a little bit longer than that. So 20 years this winter. But actually, I've always been a crafty person. And when I was a young girl, I actually had some rubber stamps. They weren't Stampin' Up. And I don't know, I think I was making some cards. I don't remember what I did with my rubber stamps. But it was definitely part of my craft arsenal was rubber stamps. And I remember, I'm sure I've told this story before about heat embossing over the toaster. I didn't have a heat tool, but my grandmother gave me some embossing powder and we figured out a way to heat that up. We just put the same, the same piece of bread down in the toaster over and over and over again. Like, I'm so horrified now to think about what a fire hazard that was. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, yay. I'm looking at some of your comments now. Bonnie's been stamping for 5 years. Tony for 25 years. Carol says she'd like the DSP to be straight. I know, I totally get it. Here's why I like making DSP a little crooked, because if you try to be straight and you're crooked, then it just looks crooked. But if you try to be crooked, then it looks like it was meant to be. All right. Sherry has been stamping for 29 years. That's awesome. Judy for 12 years in Australia. Hi, Judy. Oh, Janice says she started stamping with me down in Springfield. So, I lived in Springfield, let's see, like when Claire was born. So I moved there 16 years ago, and we moved away from Springfield about 13 years ago. We were there for about 2.5 years. So, oh my gosh, Janice, it's been about, 13 to 15, 16 years. Amanda said she started when she was 12 years old. Yes! Oh, she made cards and sold them for $1 to her grandmother and friends. I love that. Her goal was to make $32 a month to sponsor a child through Compassion International. That's so awesome, Amanda. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. It is amazing how much we can make a difference with our stamping, isn't it? 17 years of stamping, Amanda. That's awesome. Okay, guys, are you ready for our card adventure? We're going to put away these clean and simple cards, and we're going to get dirty. I'm just kidding. We're not getting dirty, but we're really getting into this project. Okay, so for the next project, like I said, maybe I didn't say, I'm going to tell you. I'm such a mess and unorganized. We are making a sliding easel card. This was inspired by a card I received during the Great Big Card Swap, but I sent it out with the swap and I forgot who made the card. I need to look back at the video and see. Sliding easel card. Like I swear I'd made this card before, but I couldn't find my own measurements. So this time I'm just kind of making them up. Okay, we're going to use the Whimsical Trees stamp set. And this is a great opportunity for me to tell you about my next online class. I've been doing these online classes every month since this summer, and what it is a free online class on YouTube, so you can tune in and watch me make these cards for free. But if you want to stamp along with me, then you can either purchase the PDF, which will be available tomorrow, or you can get a card kit. Now the card kits can be reserved right here at tinyurl.com/OCT 2021 SOTM for stamp of the month. Yes, all. I'm getting ahead of myself. If you have reserved a kit and you have paid for your kit, it will be mailed tomorrow. All the kits, the packets are all made up. I just have to put them all together and finish writing the PDF for you. I'm so excited about these cards, you guys. They are so beautiful. Do you want a little sneak peek? I mean, here's a little sneak peek, but like, do you want an actual sneak peek? Do you want to see these beautiful cards? You're going to need to give me lots of hearts. I need to know for sure that you want to see this sneak peek before I just give it to you. In the meantime, let's look at the catalog. And show you the Whimsical Trees. Let's see, it's on page 25. Here we go, 25. Pink for Christmas. Like, it's so retro, but I totally love it. What do you guys think of Pink for Christmas? This designer paper is called Whimsy and Wonder, and holy smokes, it is beautiful. Do you see these holographic touches? It's like foil, but it's holographic. It's so beautiful, and every single sheet in this designer paper has that. I think I'm missing one. There should be 6 different sheets, and I don't know which pattern. Oh, I know which pattern I'm missing. It's my favorite pattern. It's this one with the holly. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 6 different patterns in the designer paper, and then of course we have the B-sides, right, which are usually the more muted. I say muted, I just mean like monochromatic or not as busy kind of patterns. So this paper is what I'm featuring in the card kit. So I'm using a lot of paper on the cards. In the card kit, you will get, I have it here. Oh, here's the one that has all of them. Here's what you'll get in the card kit. You'll get packets, one each for 5 different cards, and then you'll also get a 6x6 piece of each of the designer papers, which we're going to use on the cards. So you will cut the designer paper to use for the cards. You will cut all the detailed pieces that you need. Like some of them I've done ahead of time, but anything that's in the Christmas tree die set, you'll need to die cut your own. And I do want to mention that I did not include the rhinestones in the kit. The rhinestones are a free gift if you add on the bundle when you get the kit. So if you didn't add on the bundle and you have the stamps at home, you'll have to provide your own rhinestones. But I know that you guys have rhinestones. Like, that's the most basic, you know, the most basic kind of embellishment. So make sure you've got rhinestones. You're going to need all these colors of ink: the polished pink, mint macaron, mossy meadow, and Misty Moonlight. I did see all your hearts, and so here we go, you guys. Are you ready? Time for a real life sneak peek of the cards that we'll be making. And like I said, you can tune in for free to watch this class. It'll be on YouTube, a YouTube Live. And so if you don't want to make the cards, then just tune in and watch. Like, you know, it's totally okay. And you can follow along at home. Even if you don't get the PDF, I will provide all the measurements during the video. Like, I will verbally tell you the measurements. They won't be written down, only in the PDF. So if you want to have a notebook, you can write them all down yourself. Like, it's all available for you. The PDF is easier, and it's got pictures and, you know, other things. But here we go. Okay. Here is the first card. This is using the that Holly designer paper. And then we've got this one with the trees. Next up is this one. I'm loving this pink combination with the mossy meadow. Oh my gosh, love it. You gotta give me some hearts and thumbs up if you like these. Here's the cutout one with the picture this dies. Oops, my little twine. The twine is included. The rhinestones are not in the kit. And then, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited about this one. This is a fun fold. It's an easy center step card. And so it stands up like this, and it is so incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. Okay, those are the 5 cards that we'll be making in the Whimsical Trees class. So all the information here, not all the information, I guess all the information is here. The class will be on Wednesday, November 3rd. So a week from yesterday at 7 p.m. Central Time on YouTube. Stamp along with me and get your kit. Reserve it now. I'll be sending out, if you've paid for your kit, I'll send it out tomorrow. And if you order it, you know, in the next 24 hours, I will ship it out as soon as I can. You can add on the stamp set and the dies. The dies are low inventory, so if you do want to add those on at a discount and with a free gift, then make sure that you do that right away so you can get your dies. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited that you love the cards. I really think they turned out so nice. So today we're using the same stamp set, Whimsical Trees. So I'm going to give you another idea with this tree set. But you can honestly, this card that I'm going to show you, this sliding easel card, you can do with any stamp set, right? Especially trees. You could use it with any tree set, any stamp set at all. So I hope that when you're watching the videos that you really take those ideas and kind of make them your own and use the things that you have at home. Like, I don't want you to just keep buying new stuff. I want you to use the stuff that you have. I want you to enjoy that process of creating and the adventure of card making and crafting. So, okay, here we go. Without further ado, sliding easel card. If I was more prepared, you would have a handout, and I would have a printed diagram. I don't have that yet, but my plan will be to create that for you. I will include all the measurements in the video description as soon as I can get things written up. So just sit back and enjoy right now. We'll figure this out together, and then we'll add the other stuff later where you can, maybe we'll do like a printable. Okay. So we're going to start with a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. I just got a brand new paper trimmer. I'm so excited. I realized when Mom was here that it's kind of nice to have more than one when you have people over to craft. So I just decided to get a second one. So I am cutting this cardstock at 4 1/4. So this is a half a sheet of cardstock the long way. And we're going to set one aside for another day. And we're only going to use half a sheet for the card base. We're going to start by scoring in half at 5 1/2. Okay, so far, guys, this is a normal card base. Okay, so a normal card base, you would have the fold at the top, and this is a half a sheet of cardstock, fits into a regular envelope. So this card will fit into a regular envelope. Here's where we're going to get fancy with our paper trimmer. Now, the paper trimmer here on the side has a ruler. okay, on the, like the little thing that flaps up. So these are the measurements that I'm going to be looking at as I'm doing my cutting for this next part. We're starting on one side or the other. It doesn't really matter which side that you start on. So I'll go ahead and do it here at the top. I'm lining my cardstock up at the 1-inch mark on the right side of the cutting blade. And then I'm going to essentially do all of my initial cutting with a 1-inch border around the edge. So I'm starting my cutter at 1 inch and I'm going to come all the way down to 4.5 inches. So that is 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom. And then I'm going to, essentially, I guess I could just turn it over and do the same thing. I was gonna like move it around, but it doesn't matter. We can just turn it over because it's still 1 inch. Lined it up 1 inch here, 1 inch here, and going down to 4.5, which is 1 inch from the fold line. Okay, so right now I've got 2 cut lines. Now here's the part where I was like trying to figure out before I went live, and that's why I was running late. So let me think about this and make sure I've got it right. Okay, so now we're gonna score and we're gonna cut, but we're gonna do like one on one end and one on the other. So the end that has the fold is where we want to cut. Okay, so I'm going to line this up again. I'm lining up the fold at 1 inch. Everything is 1 inch. It's going to be so easy here. And then I'm going to cut in between these 2 cut lines. So I'm going to cut from 1 inch down to 3 1/4. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to line it up at 1 inch again. This time I'm going to use my scoring blade and I'm going to score in between. Now you may have seen this card elsewhere. I know I've seen this card elsewhere and the measurements might be a little bit different. But this is what I figured out tonight as I was planning to show it to you. It looks like we had some people that are having problems with the video. Carol is asking about sending card kits to Canada. I don't know. I need to look into the policy about that, Carol. I know that I cannot send product to other countries, but I don't know about card kits. I'd have to figure out the postage. So Carol, send me a private message, and I'm not sure about Stampin' Up's policy with card kits, Demonstrator produced card kits. So I need to look into that before I can say yes or no. And then we can figure out what postage would be to Canada. So I can't promise, but we'll see what we can do. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure. Some of you said the video froze and you had to refresh it, but other people said you're not having any issues. So hopefully those are localized issues, and a refresh hopefully will do it. So what we have here is we have cut into and 2 columns, 1 inch from the side, and then we've cut closest to the score line and we've scored closest to the cut line. Now we're going to score in half. Okay, so our card is 5.5 inches and we have 1 inch at the top and 1 inch at the bottom. So what's left, 5.5 minus 2 inches, is 3.5. That's what the measurement is right here. So 3.5 divided in half is 1 3/4. So we're going to line up, this score line with 1 3/4. And here's a little cheat. You can peek. You can open up and peek. There's the line for 1 3/4. See, 1 3/4. So I'm going to peek and then put this down, and I'm scoring in between the lines here. So this is going to get scored in half. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And on this card, like, it's going to be a little bit opposite. The opening is going to be the top of our card and the fold is going to be the bottom of our card. Okay, so we have this little like window, and this part is going to slide up like this. This is our sliding mechanism. To decorate the card, I've used a piece of designer paper that's 4 1/4 by 5.5, and I did the same kind of fancy cutting that I just showed you, and cut a 1 inch border all the way around. So this designer paper is going to fit right over our little window, and we can glue that down, and it's gonna sort of fill that space around. Now, if you aren't so fancy with your paper cutter, you can just stamp a border or something like that. That's a little bit easier all the way around, but I really liked the look of the designer paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on right now. And I'm just going to add, I'm pulling out Mom's favorite adhesive, which is the liquid glue. And I'm going to go all the way to the edges. You know, I'm going to go around the inside border too. I just want to make sure that this doesn't come up at all. I did a thin border all the way around. And this is what I get so messy with this adhesive. That's why I don't use it. Just making some little adjustments to get that paper on. Okay. Oh, now I got messy hands. messy hands. A little, I always keep some sanitizer on my desk for inky fingers, sticky fingers. That helps to fix that. Okay. While we have our little card going on here, I'm going to get out some tear and tape, and we're going to use tear and tape to close the card. We're not closing the card yet, but I'm just getting the tear and tape ready because I need to know the space that I'm working with in between. So this tear and tape you want to keep pretty close to the edge because we're going to add a slider that's going to have to move inside between the pieces of tape. So let me go all the way to the top. Okay. Are you guys following me so far? Very good. Now next we're going to do our slider piece. And like I said, this needs to fit in here, and it's going to attach to the bottom of our piece here. So this is 1 inch from the fold. So our piece here needs to fit, like, be right up here. So this is going to be 4.5 inches long, and then we want it to fit within here. So I'm going to do a 3.5 by 4.5 inch piece of cardstock. Now, I told you this was going to be an adventure. I didn't have everything ready to go, so we're going to figure this out together and make this incredible card, and you guys are so great for being so patient with me. Okay, so here we have, it fits within our tape, which is good. If it doesn't, then you need to just trim your cardstock a little bit more. And then it also is going to line up with, let's actually put it over here. It's going to line up with the bottom of that fold here. So 3.5 by 4.5 is that measurement. I'll put it in the video description. And then, you know, guys, I haven't figured this card out before. I'm totally winging it, but we needed a little tab to attach these two pieces, and there might be a more elegant or better way to do this, but this is what I came up with. This is a 1 by 2 inch piece, and I have scored at 1 inch. So it's just a little tab that I made. You can make it smaller if you want to. Valerie, hi, I'm so glad you're joining us. We are making a sliding easel card, and I'm calling it a card adventure because I don't really have it prepared, and we're making it up as we go. Okay, so actually, before we put our little tab on, when we open this card and it's gonna slide open like this, we're gonna reveal a space here. And so I would like that to have a piece of cardstock that, like, it reveals. So I'm gonna glue a piece of cardstock down here, and let's see, this is just gonna be we'll do 3 inches by 2.5 inches. Honestly, 2 inches would be fine, but it doesn't hurt to have some overkill, right? So this one I'm going to glue down on the inside of the card. And to know where to stamp the sentiment, you can fold this up, and, well, this is going to come up like this, so the whole thing won't show. But if you were concerned about showing, you could just move that, slide that up a little bit like that. We want that to be nice and firm back there because the slider will come on top of it. Okay, so this is going to show up here, and we're going to put our our sentiment right there. So may the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart. So I can see it needs to go right about there. I'm going to get out. Should we do pink? There is some polished pink in here, and I think that might be a pretty color. I know the polished pink is like really a polarizing color for Christmas, but it does coordinate with this sweet. So let's use the polished pink, and I'm going to just kind of lift that flap out of my way and stamp, may the love of the season warm your heart, home, and fill your heart. That looks kind of a little bright, justified. You know what? It's fine. Okay, so that's going to be revealed when we open it up. That's going to be cool. Let's do the stamping. So in the middle here, we're going to have our tree. That's the tab. We can't use that piece. Just going to grab another scrap. Let me cut it down to size. Okay, so I have part of it done, but I need to get the other part mounted. This is a 2-step. So we have like the tree, and then we have like the ornaments on top. So we're gonna do that in pink, and we're gonna use a lighter green. We'll use the mint macaron. You know what? I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. In the paper, it's mint macaron, but I like Pear Pizzazz a little bit better with the Mossy Meadow. And I think in this particular pattern of paper, I think Pear Pizzazz is going to look good. So we're going to use Pear Pizzazz. Oh, I love it. And then we're going to add the ornaments with polished pink. Well, that was stinky. Did you see I have got this extra rubber and it left a little halo? It looks like our tree is like spitting or something. I wonder how well that would be. You know, I think it's going to be fine when we die cut it. So let's do some die cutting and we can see what we think. Let's get Lucy out. Lucy is my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and she's perfect for little jobs like this. Whenever I need her, right here on the desk. And we're going to line up the die. Many of you have asked about the magnetic plate for the mini and the magnetic plate for the big machine, and both of them are not currently available. There were some quality issues that were causing the plates to like bow and not be flat, and so Stampin' Up! Had to pull them, and there's no update yet as to when we'll expect them. Okay, just as I hoped, our pink ink on the top, you can't see it, it's just fine, but I do think we need some more trees, because I think one tree is not going to be enough. So let's get out our skinny tree, and let's do 2 of these. I think we're going to need some of the let's get that one out too. Okay. Like I said, it's an adventure. We are making this up as we go. I have not made this card yet, but you guys are going to love it. I know you're going to love it so much when we're all done. We're going to stamp 2 of these small skinny trees in Mossy Meadow. And these are going to be for the flap. I'll show you in just a second. Okay, first let's die cut some trees. So let's get Lucy back up here. Come on, Luce. And we're going to pull out the skinny tree die. In this die set, there are some detailed dies, and then of course the dies that die cut the stamped images. like the trees. Now, if you have problems with your dies shifting, I would suggest just using something like washi tape or sticky notes, something that is not a permanent adhesive, just a temporary adhesive to hold your die in place, and avoid the shifting. I'm lining up the die. I'm going to send it back through. I find that sometimes just holding it firmly in place is enough for me. Okay, there's our second tree. So now we've got a whole forest. Let's put Lucy down on the ground. Thanks, Luce. Okay, so for our card front, we are going to have our trees like this. We want to make sure, because this piece is going to fold up like that, we want to make sure that we don't have any adhesive on the tops of the trees. So let's put the first two trees down with regular seal or liquid glue, whichever is your preference. And then again, only on the bottoms. And then we're going to add the other adhesive, or the other tree on with Stampin' Dimensionals, and again only on the bottom half. So let's get out those Stampin' Dimensionals. This is such a fun card. Okay, now we just have to add the mechanism that is going to make this slide. Before we do that, let's do a little notch at the top so that we can see the cardstock that we need to pull. So you can use any punches. Here's a fun one to use. Let me see if that one kind of fits. I want to fit the end in, but I don't think it's gonna work. Ooh. Here's a nice little notch. So I'm going to try to center that. Do one side at a time. Do we need to do both sides? I feel like it might be easier. So I punch the front and then I'm going to go back and punch the back. So now I've got it on both sides. Okay, this slider is going to be here. So now we have something to pull. And I'm thinking it would be really great to tie some of that pink in. And a really fun place to do that would be ribbon at the top. I'm going to grab my polished pink open weave ribbon, and we can have that be like a little bow or something at the top. Okay, so first things first, we have our sentiment. That's ready. We've got our front. That's ready. Okay, so our slider piece is this one. And it's going to slide up and come out a little bit. And I feel like it might be easiest to do some stamping on this before we attach it. So let's go ahead and do that. I pulled out the ornaments and the sentiment, let your heart be light, so that when we pull that up, we're going to see that. Now, these words are in pink, so I kind of feel like those words could be, I like the ornaments in pink. So let's do the ornaments in pink, and then we're going to do the sentiment in the dark green. Oh, gosh. This is why we do it ahead of time. This stamp set has a lot of extra rubber on it. Oh, my goodness. So I just need to be careful not to rock. Oh, my gosh. Okay, that is annoying. It's time to cut a new piece. Also, time to trim some extra rubber. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's cut a new piece so that we can get, actually, you know what we can do? How far is this going to come up? Can we just turn it around? I think we can make that happen. Okay, I think that it's going to get covered up. So we're going to try this again. And we're going to stamp. Oh, that's better. Let's That's what I get for not using grid paper. Okay, and then our words. Let your heart be light. Oh God, I just realized now this is going to be visible. Oh, actually maybe not, but it is going to be really close to the top. And so having the ribbon there, okay, we're just going to cut a new piece. At the end and thought, okay, hold on. Let's start with a new piece. And for this, I have to say I'm using the thick basic white cardstock. I'm actually cheating and using a note card because the note card is a thick cardstock. It's a thick white. So I'm using a note card piece. This is 3.5 by 4.5 inches. And maybe I should wait to stamp on it to see how much actually shows. I'm going to wait. We'll stamp on it when it comes out. But then if it's wrong, oh my goodness, Julie. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a dot so I know where my ribbon needs to go. And, okay. Making a dot. Now I can maybe avoid that spot a little better. And I think I just need to come a little bit lower here and give our ribbon some breathing room. Okay. Are we ready? We have our slider. It's going to come up like that. Okay, so now we need to attach the bottom of this center flap. We need to attach that to the slider. And so we have our little mechanism piece here. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do? And oh my goodness, Julie. Oh, maybe this will work like that. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to use some tear and tape because it is nice and sturdy. And we're going to put tear and tape on one side and stick it to the back here. Okay, right in the back. I don't know that it matters that it's in the center, but we're going to stick it in the center. So this is adhered to the back, and then this side needs to adhere to the slider like that. So we're going to put adhesive now there. Hopefully you guys are following me okay in this tutorial. And we'll be able to make it okay. Kathy says, if you put the stamp on its back and ink from the top, you can see if you get any ink on the edge of the rubber. That's a good idea. Or just taking a look after you ink it. Okay, so we have tear and tape. We're going to peel that off. And I want this to be in the center. And so this is going to close. Oh my goodness gracious. I really feel like I need to line it up this way. Pray for me. So the bottom of the slider should line up with the bottom edge of your center thing. Make sure that you're centering here. And this needs to be able to travel freely inside the tape. I think we're good. Okay, we're ready to close it. Here we go, guys. Keep your fingers crossed. If you are worried about your slider, you could make it less narrow. So you could go like 3 1/4 or 3 1/2. I've got this out of the way, I think. So I'm actually going to come this way with it. And close it on the sides. to create a pocket. So now when we, oh, it worked! So when we pull up here, our trees stand up, reveal the message inside, which I think I would actually have be a little bit higher. And then you can see your message up here. Yay! All right, let's add our ribbon. I'm going to use a hole punch to punch on the mark that I made earlier when it was closed so that it's centered in the thing. Oh, it's a little bit tight. It's getting stuck coming back down on that paper that was underneath on the inside. So if you make that inside piece maybe a little taller, it won't get stuck, or just don't pull your slider too much. Okay, let your heart be light. Some ribbon. Okay, there are lots of ways that you can do your slider ribbon. You could just do, you could do a bow, you could do like a pull. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put them together. And then, so I have a loop that I put through, and then I'm going to pull the ends through. Is that backwards? No, I think that's right. And then when you're mailing your card, you can just kind of like fold that back like this so that it's flat on the card. Or if you want, you can like tie a whole bow. I didn't leave myself enough ribbon probably to tie a whole bow. But you could have a full, come on. Ah! If you wanted a full bow here, you could probably add one. I think I would like a full bow. I'm going to just cut a new piece, which should be longer than this piece. Oh my gosh, I love the way it turned out. What fun is this, you guys? Oh, you could do this, of course, with any stamp set, but these whimsical trees just are so beautiful. I love the colors, and I think it's the perfect thing to kind of be standing up like that. May the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart. Let your heart be light. Oh my gosh, I love it, love it, love it. Let me give you one more quick reminder. If you're interested in the Whimsical Trees card kit, then go fill out the Google form. I'll invoice through PayPal. And you can watch the class live on Wednesday, November 3rd. So that's a week from yesterday, 7 p.m. Central Time on YouTube. I'll post the link and share it on Facebook. And if you follow me on YouTube, you'll see the premiere scheduled there. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed our card adventure and that it was worth all the wait and work. And if you like quick and easy cards, then those cards I shared at the beginning are definitely easy and duplicatable. Which one is your style? Are you clean and easy, or are you fussy and love all that extra stuff? I do feel like we need something else here, but you've got the basic bit of the card. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Make sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss future episodes. of Thursday night stamp therapy. I will see you very soon on Sunday for Sunday stamping with Susan and Julie. We're sharing Eden's Garden projects with you this week, so make sure to tune in Sunday at noon over on YouTube. Have a great night, guys, and hey, happy Halloween. Take care.